did we learn from the 1st of Muharram until now, and evaluate our majalis, our azadari, and whatever we have discussed, whatever we have learned, and see that whether we were able to learn something new, whether we were able to understand something better, whether we have become little closer to those holy figures of Islam, whether we have become now more kind of closer to the Shuhada and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wassalam, or it was just merely a remembrance, which again is good, and I am not against it, but either it was only just listening the same lines, remembering the same thing what we already had known, or we learned something new and our understanding has become little deeper and little better. That is a question which everybody should ask himself or herself. I don't have to hear nor review all the speeches and all the materials which has been already presented to you, but it's a question for yourself. You have to examine yourself and see that after spending almost 2 months in listening these majalis, whether you have learned something new or you have become little better when it comes to your knowledge or your faith or your practice of Islam and the teachings of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wassalam. Recite a salawat. As we all know that focus in these majalis remains on the shahadat and shuhada, and the cause for which shuhada has given their lives and they have accepted all those sufferings. That is the focal point in these majalis. Also, we all need to understand that although these majalis are known as majalis of Imam Hussain, majalis of Shuhadae Karbala, but these majalis are not limited only to Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wassalam or only to the Shuhada of Karbala. In these 2 months, we talk about everything in Islam and everyone from the great figures from Anbiya and A'imma and the members of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wassalam and a variety of issues. So no one should think that we spend that much time only about one event or one individual. There are some people outside that who would say that, oh, this is a wastage of time and wastage of resources. Just one incident which took place, for example, 1400 years ago, they sit and they talk about that incident for 2 months and they talk about only that one happening or one individual. No, that's not the case. In these majalis which are mansoob, which are in the name of Imam Hussain, but we talk about Tawheed, we talk about Adl, we talk about Risalat, we talk about Imamat, we talk about Qiyamat, we talk about all these different beliefs about Ilahiyat, about whatever belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His Zat, His Sifat, His Qudrat, His creation, the purpose of creation. And then we talk about Anbiya. We have references from the lives of Hazrat Adam, Hazrat Nuh, Hazrat Ibrahim, Hazrat Musa, Hazrat Isa, and Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we discuss the details of these lives of Anbiya. As our references, we look back to these lives of Anbiya and we proceed to the discussions about Imam Hussain. And then it is not only about Imam Hussain, we talk about Imam Ali in great depth and length in these majalis. We talk about Imam Hassan, about Imam Hussain, and about the rest of A'imma. We talk about all of them. We talk about the history of Islam. We talk about those all historical events, and then we relate to the issues of our time and what we are facing as a community. We talk about akhlaq, we talk about family, we talk about youth, we talk about the modern issues, we talk about everything what we need to talk, what we need to understand, or what we need to make our communities understand. So my brothers and sisters, if you look into all this what I am explaining, so these 2 months which are in the name of Imam Hussain, which are in the name of Karbala, which are in the name of Shuhada-e Karbala, but it's not only Karbala, it is not only Imam Hussain, it is not only the Shuhada-e Karbala. We talk about Usul-e-Din, we talk about Furu-e-Din, we talk about Akhlaq, we talk about history, we talk about Aqaid, we talk about Ahkam, we talk about the family and issues and the world at large. And that is why the Shi'i community is more aware community comparatively when you compare this community with other Muslim communities around, that the general knowledge about Quran, the general knowledge about Anbiya, the general knowledge about Awliya, the general knowledge about halal and haram, the general knowledge about akhlaq and the duties and all these kind of things in the Shi'i community is much higher than other communities, and that all is because of these majalis of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam, recite salam. So it's not wastage of time, it is not wastage of resources. If time is spent properly, if people come with focus and with interest, and if the speakers are selected properly, and these are the knowledgeable people, and these are ulama, and they come prepared, and if they take the topic and if they go with that topic, then my brothers and sisters, it is a great opportunity of reviewing all that what we need to know about Islam and about the teachings of Islam. Now after 2 months and this 1 week, I think, as I was saying earlier, every individual should test their knowledge and their faith and their commitment and their spirit, and see that after spending that much time and after listening to that many majalis, now whether my spirit is gone to the higher level or it is still on the same level. Whether I have learned some new information about any of these things, or I don't remember anything new from all listening all that many majalis. And there are people who were listening 4 and 5 majalis on daily basis, other than even the center majalis. Now it is their test and it is their responsibility to now see into their notebooks and see if they have any taken new notes, if they have learned something new. It's good to have a notebook when you are taking these. It is a course for 2 months and you have listened to so many speakers and you have gone into so many majalis. So it's good to take some knowledge from those lectures and write it down as your notes, and also then it should lead you to some new questions, some new topics for research, and then you should now take at your own that you have listened some speakers and you have listened some lectures, and now you have developed some interest knowing something in particular in more depth and length, and you should approach to ulama that what materials, what books or what articles should I study to know this particular thing more in detail, in more depth and length, because I have heard about it in one of these majalis or 2 of these majalis or many of these majalis, and now I have developed some keen interest of learning further. Because again, my brothers and sisters, you will not learn the details and the full knowledge only by listening to presentations. I have spoken about that many times in my lectures, that speakers in these majalis have many limitations. First of all, they have only 40-50 minutes, and they have to begin and they have to develop the theme and they have to conclude, and then there are 3 generations sitting in front of them, very young children, youth, parents and the grandparents, people with knowledge and background and people with no knowledge and no background. So a speaker in that 30, 40, 50 minutes cannot give you all the details, all the references. He can initiate a topic, can give you some useful information, but then it is up to you that you have to now go and study and do some research. It's a good topic to study about Imam Hussain, who is our great hero, champion of humanity, and a man who was waris of Anbiya alayhimu salatu wasalam. Recite salawat. Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam is a man that who deserves to be read and to be researched. A man that who was the strongest man in the human history, a man of conviction, a man of character, a man of principles, a man of courage, a man who could stand in front of a tyrant like Yazid and Ibn Ziyad, when nobody was able to stand up and look eye to eye to them. And then Imam is a man that who came with a plan. He didn't stand abruptly with no plan. There are sometimes people that they react to things but without plans, and that is why they cannot really leave any impact. Reaction is not something which makes you a big person. Imam Hussain was not a reactionary man. Imam Hussain was a man of vision and a man of plans. He leaves Medina with plans when he goes to Makkah. And he is a man that who left his wasiyat, his roadmap in writing to his brother Muhammad Hanafiya. Even under those chaotic situations, your Imam alayhi salatu wasalam was not content to make a verbal wasiyat. Many times people will even forget about making wasiyat. But Imam makes the wasiyat in writing. That innama kharajtu li talabil islah fi ummati jaddi. I am leaving to bring a reform in the community and in the ummat of my grandfather. Wa an amura bil ma'ruf wa anha anil munkar. And I want to do amr bil ma'ruf and I want to do nahi anil munkar. Wa an asira besirate jaddi wa abi. And I want to follow the footsteps of my grandfather and the footsteps of my father. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam tells why he is leaving, where he is heading, why he is heading. So he leaves in writing. That is an emphasis on writing in Islam, that it's not enough that you just become acting, but before your actions, you put your actions and your plans on paper. Writing, the importance of that. Imam alayhi salatu wasalam writes instead of just giving the speech. Then he goes to Makkah. During the Makkah, he has plans. According to those plans, he was working there until he receives the invitations from Medina. He knew that these invitations are going to come from Kufa and from Iraq. With plans, he goes to the Iraq. With plans, he goes to Karbala. With plans, he stays there for those 8 days. And even he had a plan that when he was attacked on the 9th of Muharram abruptly in the Asr, in the afternoon, he said, no, this is out of my plans. Not this time, not like this. Go back. Give me one more night. I want to go with my own plans. I want to go with my own priorities. Gets one night, and even that one night which he knows is the last night of his life. This one last night of his life was also according to his plans. He divided his night into 3 portions. One portion was with his family. One portion he spent with his companions. One portion was with his Khaliq and Malik, Ma'bud, Dua, Munajat. And it is just like any other night. It's a peaceful night. No chaos, no emergency. Because everything is under control. Everything is according to plans. Next day when the Ashura, it's not less than Qayamat. Ashura is a very big day. La yawma ka yawmika ya Aba Abdullah. There is no such a day like Ashura. But from Fajr until Asr, everything goes peacefully. Peacefully in the sense that from Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, everything is going with itminan. Is going as planned. There was a plan. Who is going to call Azan for Fajr? Who is going to organize the army? Who is going to bother to organize a army of only 70 people in front of those 30,000 people? And you need Maimana and you need Maisara and you need a alam, and you need alamdar, and you need this whole plan for war and whole plan for fight, when you know you are only 70 people, and you have elderly people, and you have youth, and you have nabaligh children with you. Any person is going to make a war plan when you have this kind of situation? Nobody is going to have any war plan, because there is no war. But Seerat of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu wasalam is that everything is with plan. So even if you are 70 and they are 30,000 and there is no comparison, but still Imam is arranging his army as he has same number of people. So Imam brings his followers, brings his people, makes Maimana the right wing, makes Masara the left wing, makes the center, then gives the alam to his alamdar, and Imam is arranging his army like he has the full-fledged army like their army. And then Imam alayhi salatu wasalam with a plan in Karbala allowed his companions to go first and kept his Ahlul Bayt for later to go in the battlefield, which was totally a different plan and different strategy. If you compare with Prophet and if you compare with Imam Ali, this was a totally different war plan. If you read Nahjul Balagha, Amirul Mu'mineen says that whenever the fight would really get hot and difficult, Prophet would put himself forward and his family forward, and he would keep his companion behind. This was the strategy of Prophet in Badr, in Uhud, in Khaybar, in Khandak, wherever. No, I don't have time, and I am not the one that who reads these kind of majalis. But if you look into it, in Badr, who were the fighters? This was the family of Prophet. In Uhud, who is the La Fatah illa Ali and La Saif illa Zulfiqar, and on the forefront, it is Ali. In Khandak, when Amr bin Abdul comes with challenge, Hal min Mubariz, Hal min Mubariz, Hal min Mubariz, it is only Ali standing, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah. When it is Khaybar, again, when everybody runs back, nobody is ready to fight, nobody is going to fight with Marhab, it is Ali ibn Abi Talib. So Amirul Mu'mineen says that the strategy of the Prophet, the seerat of the Prophet, the sunnat of the Prophet, the method of the Prophet was that in war, particularly when it would get tough and rough, then Prophet would put his family on forefront and he would put his companions behind. In Karbala, we see a different situation. Ashab going first and all going later. Why did Hussein change the plan? It was coincident? No, it was not. It was a plan. Imam Hussein is a man of plan. Imam Hussein knew that in those other wars, Prophet and Imam Ali knew that some people who will go on forefront, they have higher chances of going and getting martyred, but the people who will remain behind, they will be safe. They will survive. So, Prophet would put himself and his family in danger to defend and to save his companions. But in Karbala, Imam Hussein knew that nobody is going to survive. Everybody is going to die. Everybody will become shaheed. When it is when it is known that everybody will become shaheed and nobody is going to survive, then Imam is letting his friends know to go first to save them from the hot day and from the thirst and from the hunger and from the more pain and from the more suffering. Because anybody who will stay longer at the day of Ashura, his test is going to be more difficult. It's the same policy. Prophet, he wanted to put his companions on easier part and his family on difficult part. But in this plan of Imam Hussain, again, the people who will go first in the morning and get killed and get martyred, their job is easier. They have seen less bloodshed. They have gone through less hunger and thirst. They have gone through less hassle. Because at the end, they were going to be martyred. So it's better for them to go early and get finished. So that is why Ashab were sent first and then Ahlul Bayt. And from Ahlul Bayt also the youth were given chance first, because he doesn't want to put youth in that difficulty. Akbar was the first one from Ahlul Bayt. The first Shaheed from Bani Hashim is Ali Akbar. And then of course the other Shuhada, and then the last, those three Shuhada. The second last, unfortunately, which came, that is Ali Asghar. The last one, as you know, is Imam Hussain himself. Before him is Ali Asghar, and before Ali Asghar, that is Qamar Bani Hashim Abul Fadl al-Abbas. This is the sequence, the number. The people who stayed the longest until the end, they had suffered more. So who remained more hungry and more thirsty than anybody else? That was Farzande Saqi-e Kausar. That was Hussain ibn Ali. Among the Shuhada, nobody was more hungry and more thirsty than Hussain ibn Ali. Nobody has seen that much blood, that many Shuhada and that much Shahadat. Nobody has seen that much as Imam Hussain himself has seen that. And every Shaheed, every Shahadat, every Lasha had a dent on his heart. On his heart. He is giving his friends, he is giving his brothers, he is giving his nephews, he is giving his sons, he is giving everybody. But my point, my brothers and sisters, was that Imam Hussain was man of plans. And then Imam Hussain knew that if he would come alone or with few men, again his Shahadat and this whole story of Karbala will get buried under the sand of Karbala. Later on they would say, we don't know what happened. Maybe Hussain was going and some of Bedouins, some of these thieves, they just looted him, killed him. We don't know. It was desert. Who came? Who did it? Nobody would know. When Imam Hussain brought his sisters, his wives, his daughters, ladies and children, people came to Imam Hussain in Medina, and then people came in Makkah. Hussain, first of all, you don't go. And even if you are going, then please don't take these women and children with you. Don't take these women and children with you. My brothers and sisters, today we had videos, today we had cameras, today we have these technology. We record. At that time, these children like Sakina, they were the recorders. Children like Muhammad Baqir, they were the one who were taking these digital pictures, memories from Karbala. Ladies like Zainab and Kulsum, with their caliber, would witness, and he knew they would take them to Kufa, they would take them to Sham, and the story of Karbala will go to Kufa and Sham and Medina and everywhere, and they will try to bury Karbala, but Zainab will not let them bury Karbala. Zakireen have their own beautiful way of saying sometimes things like Shu'ara, the poets and Khitabat and Shairi has its own way of sometimes making expressions. One great Zakir of our time, Marhum Azhar Hasan Zaidi Khatib Ale Muhammad, was used to say that on the 9th of Muharram, when Zainab saw the brother is ready to give his life, Zainab came and Zainab said, my brother, they want to finish your life. I bet you I will not let you die. They can cut your throat, but yet they cannot cause death to you. Zainab will not let you die. And Zainab never let Hussein die. Hussein is alive. Hussein was alive on the Asr-e Ashur. And Hussein was alive in Kufa and Sham and Medina, and today Hussein is still alive. Qatl Hussein असल में मर्गे यजीद है. इस्लाम जिंदा होता है. करबला के बाद Zainab said, I am not going to let you die. बहन भाई को मरने नहीं देगी. बहन भाई को मरने नहीं देगी. So that was the plan of Hussein. Hussein came with plan. These sisters, wives, daughters, they became the conquerors of this war. They went into the trenches of enemies in Kufa and Sham, and they conquered Kufa and Sham. So my brothers and sisters, we should always be people of plans, people of management, people who can live into all those difficult situations and don't give up and don't live the life of chaos. This majlis, these majalis, although today is the shahadat of our 11th Imam, but even our A'imma, all of them, even at their shahadat, none of them, they cried for themselves or for their fathers. Any Imam, when he would see his father dying, he would sit next to the mayyat of his father, but he would shed the tears of Gharib-e Karbala. And that was the message of our A'imma. Don't cry on us. If you want to cry, cry for Hussein. Cry for Hussein. That was the whole policy of Ahlul Bayt. You want to do matam only for Hussein. You want to carry taboot of Hussein. You want to cry for Hussein. You want to say marsiya, say for Hussein. Our 11th Imam was the last Imam of the 11 Imams, that now he was 13th Ma'soom and he was 11th Imam, where the phase of Imamat, one phase of Imamat ended. Imamat starts from Imam Ali, and then it comes with 11th Imam, with the shahadat of 11th Imam, one phase of Imamat, which was the phase of Zuhur, 250 years, was ended. Now from tomorrow after this day, the imamat enters into a different phase, which is the phase of Ghaibat-e Sughra for 69 years. For 69 years, that phase which will start from tomorrow, it will be Ghaibat-e Sughra, Ghaibat. And then after 69 years, a third phase, which is phase of Ghaibat-e Kubra. Since I am speaking tomorrow and I will have time to, inshallah, I want to discuss about Imamat, and tomorrow's Jashan will give me more time, inshallah, where I can elaborate on this concept of Imamat, the history of Imamat, the contributions of Imamat, and the future of Imamat, inshallah.